1 second. Hey, going live, going live, going live. Supposed to be doing this from the laptop. Every time the laptop gives me grief. So, we're going from the phone. So, what are we cooking today? We are doing a vegan eggplant caponata, I believe is how it's pronounced. And then Tiffany is going to make things lively here today also. So basically, what we're going to do is this is just kind of something that can be eaten on its own, or maybe you can put it over rice or pasta. I've never had it, never heard of it before. Aaron picked out the recipe. Good job, Aaron. So basically what we did is we prepared in advance our eggplant. I diced it a little too small, so maybe it will not be exactly like the recipe, but that's okay. We like to experiment a little bit. We're going to change things up again we're going to add a few things to the recipe that we found online, and this is supposed to be an inch dice. We also soaked the eggplant for about 10 minutes and put a little bit of pressure on there and then dried it out. So basically the eggplant, everything's going to go in the pan. We're going to heat it up. Right now, Aaron is dicing up our onion. So basically we're going to have one large eggplant, one large onion. This recipe calls for red pepper flakes. We're not putting that in there, so some of my other family members can eat it. 4 ribs of celery, or I like to call them stalks, is another way of putting it. 6 cloves of garlic, 15 ounces tomato paste. We are going to have paste, but we're going to use sauce. You also have 2 cups of water, and that's why I'm using the sauce. Because I've got extra sauce and I don't have paste. So we're going to use that. A 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of capers, a 1/4 cup of green olives, and we're going to have 2 tablespoons of fresh basil. Let me go grab the basil real quick. Everybody's off camera. Such interesting TV. What an interesting show. Nobody on camera. My volume is changing. So that's the basil we're going to use. Just bought that fresh at the grocery store. That's the only place I could find it was as a plant. Otherwise, I probably would have not bought it as a plant because I'm really good at killing plant. So our eggplant is ready to go. We got Aaron working on the onions. We've got, let me see, YouTube. Aaron working on the onions. That's supposed to be a 1/2-inch dice. We're going to put some Italian seasoning just to give it some Italian flavor. Italiano. We love the Italian flavors. That's my take on it. Put some more on there. Awesome. Let's just get it. Awesome. I'm going to turn this stove on, so we're going to get started here shortly. So we're going to let that heat up a little bit. We're going to put the eggplant in first. Sure. Cap on. Put that away. So basically, you're going to take a very large, wide pan, which we got here heating up. I got a gas stove. I love gas stoves. The reason I love gas stoves is because it's quick. You can change it quickly on the fly and change the temperature quickly. In my opinion, electricity takes a little bit of time to do that. So we take the eggplant and the onion, and we're going to put that over medium-high heat. We're going to put that. It says a pinch of salt. I'm not going to add. I'm going to just put all this stuff in the same bowl, dump it in there. We're going to let that heat up a little bit.
I'll put some in it.
Perfect. I'm going to get rid of this off to the side. 4 stalks of this. We're going to do the same thing, a 1/2-inch dice. I just washed those up. I would wash I would pull 4 stalks off and make sure that this is washed because I don't know how it got washed, but I don't know. When you open celery up, what I like to do, careful with that knife. Okay. So a lot of times there's a lot of dirt in here. I'm going to rinse these off again, or I'm going to have Aaron do that. Rinse those off, and then do another 1/4 dice. The celery won't go in right away. We're going to do basically the onions and the eggplant. We're going to get a nice brown color to that. So I'm going to let this heat up a little bit. I'm just checking. Oh, we got a little bit of heat right there. So once again, this dish is without any oil. So on my cooking show, I try to do stuff without oil. A little bit of oil might be okay. I'm using kind of the forks over knives methodology. No. So that was not medium heat. So we're turning it down to some medium heat. We're just letting this brown.
A little more. No. More. More.
Oh, more.
Yeah, enough.
Yes.
Okay. I think you meant a little more down.
All right, I'm getting the spatula out of here.
Go, baby.
help you.
Okay.
We're also, the subtitle of our kitchen show is Chaos Kitchen because it's chaos in our kitchen. We love cooking with family. We love cooking with people. We love cooking with you. If you would love to come on the show and teach us something about a plant-based dish that has a lot of flavor. I love exploring new cultures and new taste. So if you have something that is like a whole family recipe, I would love to do it with you. Like I said, if it includes oil or something like that, maybe I'll make two versions with you. One that has oil and one that does not have oil. And right now I'm just trying to make sure that stuff does not get too brown on some of the eggplants and not the others. So I also love it when the onions get a little translucent. So we're looking for the eggplant to turn brown. We're also looking for the onions to start getting clear. And that's basically what we're doing here. And we would like to heat things thoroughly. That's why I'm just kind of moving stuff around. So it kind of gets even heat. Whatever's touching the bottom is what is going to brown the quickest. And stuff that ain't. So that's the big thing there. A little eggplant right next to the fry. I don't know if you saw that. Let's clean that later. That's all right. And that's what happens in Chaos Kitchen. So I think I talked a little bit before, and I'm going to talk about this every time, is the hierarchy of health, right? What's the most healthy? The whole plant. That is what is most healthy. And we're using a lot of that, but we're also using canned stuff. So you got to be careful, and I would suggest that maybe you limit the amount of stuff that you get out of cans, because even though they've gotten rid of BPA from the lining of the can, there's still stuff inside of that lining in the can that is not as healthy as the whole plant by itself. In a pinch, go ahead and use it. I do like stuff that is stored or in glass. Glass is good for you, in my opinion. I like glass best. Plastic I don't like as much, but that's mine. I would just suggest try to get as many veggies into your diet as you can, right? So I think getting a wide variety of vegetables, fruits, plants, mushrooms, seeds, nuts, beans, lentils, all that stuff. I love pepper. I'm going to put a little pepper in there. I've also got a Green Goddess seasoning blend. I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. What the heck? So spices are super important. So so many spices are so good for you. I would also suggest that dry spices can go in early. I've read sometimes that pepper, you want to put that in later in a dish. To me, when you're using fresh herbs and stuff like that, yes, you want to put that in a little later in the cooking process. But the dry stuff, heck, you can put that in before you even start cooking. So we're just letting this get to where the eggplant is brown, the onions are translucent. Starting to get a nice aroma.
You like peeling?
And we're going to let that cook a little bit. We're going to look at what the next steps are, because like I said, this is kind of Chaos Kitchen. Just find a recipe and we just start cooking it. And like I said, if you have an amazing recipe, I would love to cook with you and learn from you. What could you teach me about cooking? So Erin didn't tell us she is starting to get the garlic ready. 6 garlic cloves, thinly sliced. I would suggest maybe a little thinner than she is right now. But she's working on the garlic. Garlic is super good for you. Garlic is super good for you. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but I like to watch a lot of Dr. Greger and his content. Really good stuff about the vegetables, which vegetables are like the most healthy, what they
That's not going to be
are
yummy.
good for.
Did you put it
And
in your mouth?
also, I would like you to
Oh.
wash your hands if you're eating food right on the camera. So go wash your hands real quick if you're going to eat. Go wash your hands.
I'm not washing my
I want you to wash your hands. That's
I'm
what
not.
I'm asking you.
Oh.
Go wash your hands and come back.
Food?
Yeah, if you put your hands in your mouth and then you cook, that adds some extra germs. Please go wash your hands and come right back.
I'm not eating.
You ate some garlic.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry. All right. So let's get back over here. Make sure that this doesn't get too brown. Stick too much. But here's the thing. It's deglazing when you use some sort of liquid to get the brown bits off the bottom of the pan. I think that we're got a little bit of brown here. I'd like a little bit more translucent on my onions. Sometimes to me, eggplant can be a little mushy in its texture. So maybe that's one reason that I subconsciously cut these smaller than the recipe asked for. So it's going to add a lot of moisture to your dish also. So if you're making a dish that has eggplant in it, it will add moisture because some of the moisture from the eggplant will leak out. So we've got that going on. I think it's going to be pretty soon that we're going to do the next step. We've got the browns, about 15 minutes is what it says. So we're going to let that cook for a little while. Crushed red pepper, what we're not putting in. The celery and garlic will go in next. You're going to do that for a couple minutes. So about 15 minutes is what it suggests for in the recipe, the cooking time to get the brown eggplant and the translucent onions. I don't know how long we've been in the pan for, but we're already starting to see a little bit of brown.
Maybe about 10 minutes.
And you get to hear this great, interesting dialogue with me. Todd Bailey, we're going to cook some of the time on a day when you're off. I know you're working on Saturdays. You're probably going to hopefully watch this on replay, or anyway, maybe not, but let's cook on another day. Let's add an additional day of cooking with Todd Bailey. Gina Bino, you're welcome back anytime. I'd love to cook with you again. I know you're at work today. And like I said, it's an open invite. Anybody on this channel who would like to cook, has a great recipe, I would love to learn something from you. And I love cooking with people. Like when I started out, I was just cooking by myself. I enjoy cooking with people and learning things from people, learning new flavor profiles. So if you've got an amazing dish, let's cook together. Saturday, noon is when I do it live, but maybe we could do it on another day if that doesn't work for you. Just let me know, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments below. Say, hey, Mark, I want to cook with you because you don't know what the hell you're doing. And you're right.
either.
So Aaron is learning to cook. And like I said, I talk about this a lot. Herbivore, omnivore, right? So maybe there's some level of meat. I don't eat meat, but maybe there's some level of meat. And you can always make better choices in the meat that you choose. In my opinion, if you were going to eat meat, I think that maybe like salmon is more healthy than the pink ooze that they make hamburger at a fast food place, or some of the additives that they add in certain beef, maybe the BHG or the different hormones or antibiotics that they add in the meat industry might not appeal to you. If you could get beef that's grass-fed, I think that, and range-free, and they don't add any hormones, and they limit the amount of antibiotics that the cow gets, I think that that is going to be a much healthier meat than the typical meat. And I think that fish is healthier for you than a hamburger. So anyway, I like to think of it as a hierarchy of health, getting better at the choices that we make. Even when you go to a restaurant, know that, hey, they're going to season the heck out of it with salt. They're probably going to give you way more calories than you need for one meal if you're eating at a restaurant. So maybe you take some of that home and just getting better choices when you do eat at a restaurant. So I think we're getting close to where we're going to want to add stuff into this. I think maybe let's just go ahead and dump the celery into this.
wash my hands.
And the garlic?
Thank you. Yes, the garlic and the celery go in now. Thank you, Aaron, for helping me with my dimension. Yes, good job. Thank you. So Tiffany is washing her hands because I thought she ate something, but she didn't. So I'm yelling at my daughter on camera, and she didn't even do what I thought she did.
Are you
So
gonna help? Because you washed your hands. We're gonna put some of that in the.
all right. So we're gonna put this in for a couple minutes. Can I grab the celery? Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put the celery in.
You want to put some in?
She's putting the garlic in. Just look there.
I put some garlic.
Awesome. Some garlic in the pan. Awesome.
Yummy.
Like sprinkle.
Yeah.
Now we're going to stir that around. Garlic. I love garlic. If you're an Italian, I think you should love garlic too. That's my prejudice.
I don't know what I am, but I know I love garlic.
I am not Italian, but I do love garlic. But I'm going to judge you if you're an Italian and you don't like garlic. So, sorry. All right. So, once we get this cooked for a couple minutes, we're going to clear out a small space inside of the pan in the center. We're going to put some tomatoes paste, and we're going to cover. We're going to turn the heat up a little bit and let that caramelize. We're going to add a little bit of water. I'm not going to add a whole lot of water, but we may put a little bit of water in there because I'm using sauce instead of the paste that it's asking for. So I'm going to use the rest of this tube of paste. So it started out at 5.3. This recipe calls for 15 ounces, and this is less than 5 ounces. So we're going to add just some tomato sauce, pizza sauce. When did the capers go in? Let's find out when the capers go in. So instead of the red chili, my wife suggested we use a little bit of this. I don't even know what it is, but we're going to put it in there. It's not as hot as the tomato or the red pepper flakes. So red wine, vinegar, capers, and olives at the end.
Oh, it smells good, Papa. Smell it.
Awesome. Smells almost paprika-y to me, but I'm not sure what is in that. But we're going to put a tiny bit of that in there. Just see what it tastes like. But the recipe calls for crushed red pepper flakes. So if you're wanting to go along with the recipe, you're going to use red crushed pepper flakes, 1/4 teaspoon. So right now we're just kind of letting celery cook down a little bit. And it's just kind of moving it across the bottom so it kind of heats evenly. And that's where we're at. So like I said, the next thing is basically just tomato paste. We're going to use a combination of paste and sauce. And probably not use this kind of sauce. So let's see how that goes. So we're going to let this cook down a little bit longer. Then we're going to put in our paste. This is called a caponata, or if you're Italian, please correct my pronunciation because I guarantee you that I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
Here, I got it open.
Awesome. Tiffany has it open. What do you think? It's getting close?
Yeah.
All right.
Through
Start.
the middle?
Yeah, just put a little spot in the middle. Squirt that into the center. Can you do that without burning yourself?
All of it?
Oh, yeah. The whole flipping thing. And do you want to go open that jar of tomato pizza paste, pizza sauce?
Do you prefer all stainless steel rather than the non-stick? Because the non-stick is not good for you.
Teflon is controversial. Yes, this one. Teflon is controversial. I have black plastic. I do have some Teflon pans. My wife does use it, and there are some people that do not use Teflon because they don't like the idea of Teflon, and I think that maybe that plastic is not as good for you also.
Wow.
All right.
That's more liquidy.
Yeah. Let's. I'm still squeezing this.
Is that like half of that?
This is most of it. I'm trying to get just like the little last nooks and crannies. That's the only problem with having a tube of paste. Although most of the time I like the flavor of the paste that comes in a tube of the ones that I've tried. So I typically get paste in a tube rather than the can. And like I said, that's kind of that hierarchy of health that I've been talking about is that. Yeah. Do we get all of this? I don't know if that's quite 15 ounces, and I think maybe we want just a little bit more. I think I'm going to open up another can of sauce and put probably about half of that in there. So Aaron is going to just open a can of tomato sauce, and I'm going to ask them to put in just a tiny bit of
Hold it while I spin it.
a tiny bit more of the sauce in there. I'm trying to see where the red pepper flakes were in because I missed that. Oh, the crushed red pepper. We're going to put a little bit of this stuff
Wow. I want to put some in.
instead of the red peppered. It is called Matisse Vasco Espelete organic pepper. So maybe they're a little bit more mild. My wife. Put half. Did you put half in there? Put about half. Yeah, perfect. Let's let that. How long did it say?
I want to eat some.
Until starting to dark and caramelize. This is called to singe the paste, and only takes a couple of minutes. So this paste is not paste; it's sauce. So it may not do as well as the paste. So you're supposed to clear out the bottom of the pan for your paste, and that will allow it to caramelize, which they said is called the singe, which I never knew before this recipe. Because we're using sauce, maybe this will not do as well of a job as if you're using the paste, and that's okay. We're learning is what we're doing here. So, like I said, we pick out recipes. We do them oil-free, just plants. There's been a few times that I've done some noodles. I'll sometimes do some noodles and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's mainly plants, trying different dishes. I am trying to cook without oil. My wife does cook with oil. And I do eat oil on occasion. But I'm also trying to make sure that, hey, I can stay as healthy as possible for as long as possible. And it is my belief that oil is part of the problem why people's cholesterol are so high. So it is my idea that for myself, I'm trying to limit the amount of oil that I eat in my life. And like I said, I do eat it at times. And I would suggest that there are certain oils that are better for you. So a Evo, an olive oil that is virgin and extra virgin olive oil is way better for you than a lot of the vegetable oils. You don't know what's in there, and there's a lot of trans fats and all that good stuff.
Do you think olive oil is better than coconut oil? Like,
I'm not sure. If you're going to go with an oil, I would suggest. I've read that even most EVOO is not really EVOO. So it's still got processed parts of the olive oil. EVOO is supposed to be processed at a certain level, and then there's different levels of processing oils, even in the olive oil, to where it can be called EVOO. So there's controversy even there. What I would suggest is your standard vegetable oil is not as good as an Evo. If you're going to use oil, you also can get into the smoke points of different oils. And hey, I would say that avocado oil, which has a higher smoke point than olive oil, would be better than just your standard vegetable oil that you can get at the supermarket. So I think that let's just start incorporating all this and then find out what we're supposed to put in here. What else are we supposed to put in here?
let's see. We added eggplant, onion.
We're at the
tomato paste. We need red wine
No,
vinegar.
there's instructions after that. That's the ingredients, and that's not the order that you put them in necessarily. We're here, and now we should be
Add the
add
water.
the water to the pan. Use a wooden spoon to scrape any bits from the bottom of the saucepan. Add red wine vinegar, capers, and
I'm
olives.
gonna go get some more water.
We're gonna get a quarter cup of red wine vinegar. Do we have a cup? This is gonna take forever to stop. So, do you know where the
Papa, how much water?
You know what I'm saying?
How much water?
Huh?
How much water do
I don't know. Let me try to get a couple of these. I don't know if we're going to put as much water in because we used sauce instead of paste. So we'll probably cut that in half. So it's supposed to be 2 cups. I'm going to put 1 cup of water. And that's about 1 cup of water. So we're going to put 1 cup of water in here. Right? We're going to put a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. So this Heinz vinegar has this funky little top that prevents this. So 1/4 is that bottom line that's facing you. That's a little more. This might have a little bit more vinegar taste than what you got. It's supposed to be 1/4 cup. We probably put a little more than that. I think it's closer to 1/2 cup. We're getting this to go to a simmer. Once we get everything in there, we need 2 tablespoons of capers. Do you have a spoon? Do you know where a big spoon is?
Yeah, I'll get one.
We need a big spoon.
Big
Yes, the bigger spoon.
a big
Yes.
spoon.
Yes. So, I don't want a ton of water from this. I guess we're getting a ton of water from this. And I'm making a big, huge mess. Look at that. This is why this is Chaos Kitchen. So, we're probably getting closer to that 2 cups of water that we were looking for. What do you think? A little bit more capers, or is that good? Do you like capers or no?
I don't know how to use.
All right, we're gonna have you taste that, then put the spoon away because we're not using that spoon. Oh, that's good. And then we're gonna wash our hands.
I don't want to.
Come on,
You don't like capers?
let's wash our hands.
I want to do.
Yeah, but you did every time you touch something or put your
Yes, it's not wash your hands once. Every time we put our hands in our mouth when we're cooking, we go wash our hands again. What else we got? What else we got? We got the capers. We got olives. So this one I'm going to drain a little bit because I don't want as much fluid as I have with those capers. You should drain those capers before. Oh, these are supposed to be sliced, and these are not sliced. So that is what we love, is learning as we're going. So do we have a colander or something? Do you know what a colander is? Like a strainer, so that you don't. Here. Watch this. All right, Aaron's going to talk to you guys for a minute while I do this. Aaron, talk to them. What do you want to tell them about health and vegetables and movement and all that good stuff? You don't know.
I have no idea.
So this is what's supposed to be a 1/4 cup.
What is that?
Huh? We're going to chop those up.
I'm at one.
Chop those. Grab one.
I wash my hands.
Yeah, and guess what? You're going to have to wash your hands again because you're going to stick your fingers in your mouth. All right, Aaron's going to. Do you want to cut those? No, it's not diced. You're going to slice them down. Good job. Aaron has mad cutting skills, better than mine. Where's that other knife? Maybe I'll help as we go. And this is part of the fun of cooking, and this is where I like to. I don't want you next to. I'll let you cut a few
Okay.
in just a little bit.
Yeah, but we got 2 knives.
But
so you
yes.
gotta wait.
So this is what part of the Chaos Kitchen, right? So I was told that these were sliced. I did not look at the can, so I didn't even know. But now we're going to be slicing these, and we're trying to get this done as quick as possible because we're going to try to get these heated up with the rest of that sauce. And I think our sauce is needing to cook for 45 minutes. So we're not going to finish this sauce, but we want to at least show you the basics of getting the sauce. So I think we've been going for about 5 minutes. So we're going to cook this for about 40 minutes more. And then this caponata will be ready to eat. So yeah, and do not chop your fingers off while you're eating because that is definitely not plant-based.
Okay.
That is meat when
Hold
you
it
put
with
your
me.
own blood
Go.
in your dish. So the big thing is try to stay safe out there. Don't cut your fingers off while you're cooking. Explore with many vegetables. The more, the better. The brighter, the better. It should be your job to go out and when you are picking vegetables, get the brightest ones that you can find. Good job.
You want to be
You're
healthy
like a
us?
you're like a professional chef there, TT Head. This is the first time my daughter's been on camera with us. I think it went pretty well.
Yeah,
We learned a little bit about sanitation.
you did a great job,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah.
All right,
wanna
so
add
we're
'em?
gonna let's go throw these in
You
there.
wanna put
Here,
some-
watch this. We're gonna do it the cheap and dirty way. We're gonna take the cutting board. We're gonna just walk it over, and we're gonna hope that this doesn't overflow. Like this is barely gonna fit into our pan. Here. All right, now we're gonna use the spatula, and we're gonna like mix that around a little bit so to make sure everything's getting warm in there.
I think it's gonna overflow.
It's gonna overflow. Let's put a timer on. Let's go for another 40 minutes from right now.
Wow, that's a
Like I said, we got a little bit more fluid in there than we probably
So
is called for in the recipe because it
I'll
asks for
put it
2
on,
cups.
I'll put it on.
We used
What time?
pizza sauce for part of our tomato paste. So
10 minutes. So go to that one.
no,
10?
40 minutes.
Oh, just kidding. I meant.
I meant
That's what I
40
meant.
minutes. I
This
wanted
one?
to save.
This one?
I meant
40,
it was
yes.
ending at
So we're going to turn it to
110.
40. You guys have a great day. Travis Kahn, thanks for watching us live. Put a comment below. We would love to know if you see this in replay. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll look at this and answer anything and everything that we can. If we know, and like I said, we're still learning. So if you want to cook with us, I would love for you to cook with us live. Or maybe we'll pre-record some stuff or do stuff on odd days. We'll see. We'll see how this thing transpires.
Pepper.
So I did do a little bit of this. So this is a type of pepper. It is not the
Can you
red
say
pepper
by
that it's
Tiffany?
called for.
You wanna
It's
put
called
this?
You
Espelette,
did all that, babe.
Matis Vasco. So it's a little less spicy than what is called for in the recipe. But like I said, we kind of improvise and do things our own way and see what it turns into. If you would love to have the recipe as it is on the paper, I would love to send it to you. Just comment below, reach out to us, DM, whatever you want to do. You guys have a great day. We will see you next week. We're still deciding. If you have a great idea, maybe Aaron has it picked out for next week. The weeks after that, we're still open. So suggest something, and maybe we'll pick what you suggest. You have a great one. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Next Saturday. Unless we post something in the group, and then maybe it'll be before then. But usually on Saturday at noon. Have a great day. Talk soon. Bye.
Saturday.
End stream. Finish. Have a great day.
Yes.